Thank y'all for tuning in to an all-new episode of the No Rules Podcast. I'm Aaron Hilton, as always, joined by my main man, Malik Smith. Malik, what's going on, brother?
What up? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm at Mansions and Benzes, my brother. I feel really good. Really, really good. It's a weird burst of energy that I have. 11/11, by the way. Make a wish.
Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Made the wish. It's the same wish.
You made the wish? I bet.
It's that money falls out the sky.
Bet that. I need some of that in Atlanta, too. I definitely need some of that.
Yeah.
We make it rain up in here, man. Atlanta is like the
Make it rain
main
capital of the
export
world.
the strip clubs, you know.
Yeah.
That's where most people make it rain at, is in Atlanta. You know, I'm just not feeling none of those showers.
So I hear. I've experienced it once or twice.
Once or twice, you know,
Yeah.
as an observer.
I may have made it sprinkle once or twice.
Participated in a little bit of pocket change, you know. The Malik Smith scholarship.
Hey.
Outstanding young women.
What'd he say? No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
Not one letter.
Oh man, what a great movie. What a great movie.
Phenomenal.
I'm sure that reference went over a few people's heads, but I don't care. I loved it.
The real ones understand.
So one thing that I did want to get into with you just right off the top, and it's crazy coming a week after Valentine's Day that this is like the hard pivot in stories that we're talking about, because, you know, last weekend, you know, we were talking about love and all this other kind of stuff and bigging up, and this weekend we got niggas crashing out on Twitter because their wife was deep-throating Steve Smith. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy world we live in.
I feel like you have to explain the story, because you just saying it like that, it's like it was
a wild explanation. You're right. So basically, one of my friends sent it to me on Twitter. It was a thread of a guy who went by the @ name Lamborghini, and he basically was crashing out on Twitter, and I guess other social media platforms. But what I saw was Twitter, and his wife cheated on him with Steve Smith Sr., formerly of the Carolina Panthers, Baltimore Ravens, former NFL Pro Bowl wide receiver. I think he is currently an analyst on NFL Network, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was at least at one point. I'm not sure if he still holds that title. Very explicit text messages that he got a hold of. Like, I mean, and he went full crash out, you know, called him, recorded the phone call, was, you know, trying to excoriate him and shame him. Like, you don't feel bad. You don't feel sorry for yourself. What do you have to say for yourself? And, you know, Steve Smith comically just kind of deadpans, "I'm sorry," and like that's all he really had to say. It was embarrassing for Lamborghini. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a rough representation for my boy.
Do you think it's more embarrassing that his wife cheated on him, or that he told the entire world about it and his Twitter handle is Lamborghini? Which do you think is more embarrassing?
Option number 2, 100%. I think we start with the name Lamborghini. I think that's probably why his wife cheated. I think that's not the determining factor, but it's a contributing factor for sure. I'm not here to judge, though. I'm not here to judge, because we will get into the fallout of the situation later. But first, I want to kind of relate it to ourselves in our own lives. You know, I don't want to stand here on the soapbox and act like we haven't been in either one of these scenarios. I mean, I can't speak for yourself. I have been the cheater. I have been cheated on in both of those scenarios. It does not feel great to have it happen to you. It doesn't feel great, honestly, to be the one to do it to someone else. Especially growing up in the household that I grew up in, with infidelity being a big reason why my parents never really worked out. My stepfather, my mother never worked out. Infidelity played a big key role in that. So I got to see what it does to people. So it's one of those situations where nobody wins. Nobody is a good guy or a bad guy. It's just a whole lot of hurt and a whole lot of destruction left in your wake. So I'm definitely uniquely experienced in that, and that I've seen it from 3 different perspectives. But I'm interested for yourself. Have you ever been on either side of this train?
Both sides.
Both sides. Yeah.
Both sides feel terrible. It's not good to be the person who finds out that, you know what I'm saying, you've been cheated on. It's definitely not good to be the person who's cheated on someone. You feel terrible in both situations. And same with you, you know, infidelity in the family, you know, especially I feel like in black families, we just be having like mad secrets where it's like you find out like 20 years later, like, wait, what happened? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I'm saying?
Like,
It's like Soul Food was actually based on a true story and shit. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
just crazy.
exactly.
You know?
That
Yeah.
movie resonates, I feel like, with mad black people because they'd be like they don't want to say it, but they're
I
like,
knew it.
cousin
I knew that.
Faith,
I knew she wasn't worth
cousin
it.
Faith with her
Cousin
nasty
Faye.
ass.
God damn it.
But I will say this: as much as I can relate to the general prospects of cheating, cheater, never have I ever put my business on the internet for the whole world to see and get clowned on like this gentleman has gotten clowned on. And I just want to take a moment to appreciate how much this man really thought he was going to have the world on his side by putting a professional athlete out there in the text messages. I'd give you the phone call. Like, yeah, I confronted this guy. He cheated on my wife, blah, blah, blah. Brother, you, if you read through those text messages, why would you want those text
Mm-mm.
messages on
I'm
you? I
stop you.
don't.
I'm gonna stop you right there. First of
Mm-mm.
all, no, you didn't confront Steve Smith because I'm gonna tell you something
Oh,
about
okay. I'm air
finding the
quoting.
right one. Steve Smith is the right one. He knew better. Confronting him on the phone is about the only place that you can confront somebody of Steve Smith's stature. If anybody that knows Steve Smith broke his own teammate's jaw in practice through a face mask. Yeah, like you said, I don't know where he thought he was going to win here, because social media, like, they're just going to laugh at you. That's all. It's funny, and how he crashed out, it was pure comedy. Because what is Steve Smith supposed to say? He didn't make he make those vows to you. Now he did make vows. He does have his own wife that he'll have to answer to, I'm sure, but you don't know what kind of agreement that they have. You don't know if, maybe they are a little bit more open. How do we know? But as far as you calling Steve Smith and trying to get him to apologize or feel bad, I mean, that just makes you look even worse.
I'm really not sure what the play was there. I mean, I could totally understand if like maybe you sent this information to his wife and was like, I'm gonna blackmail you unless you pay me to, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, so maybe don't do that. But I don't think I don't know what this dude gained. Not only did he do the phone call, he put the text messages out there, but I don't know if you saw this. He posted on Facebook on under his wife's Facebook. I guess he logged into her account and wrote, essentially like trying to make it seem like she was writing it,
It
him and
gets
his
worse with
child.
every detail.
Yeah, it
To
was
be
just
honest with you,
it
it
was
gets worse.
it was a
And
lot
like,
going on.
honestly, how did he think he was going to win in this scenario?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
where was the win? Where was the win? There's no. First of all, let's start with this. We don't know who you are, so the only person who we know as the public in this situation is Steve Smith. Okay, the only place where you might potentially win in this scenario is in like a family group chat or something where you expose it only around your intimate group of friends. Once you put it on social media for anyone to retweet and it to make its rounds, you're going to be a laughing stock. There is no scenario in which you win because at the best, and this is best case scenario, millions of people just know that your wife was taking Steve Smith down her throat and loved it.
We're not making that up. That is literally
That's
what the text messages
This
say.
is what she said. You know what I'm saying? I love
Literally
to
what the
lay it
text
on
message
thick, pun intended, but this is like I'm just basically reading off text messages here that he made public. You know what I mean? He could have used like an AI. He could have used like an AI scrub to like change some of the word and verbiage around. There was one that particularly struck out to me, which it was like, "Deep is an understatement," and I feel like that was the moment when like when she would have been on a Hulu doc. There's no way. Like when you read a message like that, bro, like that's the end. That's my 13th reason. There's no way I can recover from that. Deep is an understatement. That would have fucking killed me right there.
The-
That's a shotgun to the chest.
to your point about there not being any wins, not only are there not any wins, like just generally, like you're just putting your information out there, you're putting your business out there for the whole world to see. But
Right.
as the internet always does, the internet basically confirmed it because apparently Steve Smith was like this woman worked for the Baltimore Ravens marching band, and then Steve Smith
Yeah.
was the Baltimore Ravens marching band conductor. So it's like, oh, so he was definitely banging your wife, bro. Like
100%.
the internet just went and confirmed it. Like,
What
oh,
cock with pork in your mom?
my bad. And like you
Man.
said, look, cheating, not great. We understand it from both sides. We've seen
Mhm.
it really mess people up. But you know what people typically don't do unless they want everyone to know and want to embarrass themselves is put it all over the internet. People, that's not the right decision. We don't want to know. But if you tell us,
Ever.
then we're gonna laugh. Probably, like we're
Yeah,
gonna feel
like
bad,
I promise
but
you,
we're gonna
it's not
laugh.
gonna go how you think it's gonna go. Like, and a good friend of
There's
mine,
like
I
a
won't say
10%
who it
chance it
is.
goes how you think it goes. ten
Yeah,
percent
well,
chance.
yeah, like maybe less than that, honestly. But like one of my good friends, who, again, like I'm not gonna say who it is, but one of his favorite things to say is like, if you record yourself crying on social media, I hope it gets worse for you. And that is like one of the meanest but most
Kind of
true.
funny.
It's yeah, it's one of the truest things I've ever heard. It's truth to power because that's exactly how I feel about it. Like, yo, if you there there are instances where people try and like cry on social media and like you had time to grab your camera and make sure like you had the perfect lighting to
Yeah,
record yourself
yeah.
crying in this moment. And it's like no one cares because it's not going to make your situation better anyway. Crying for other people to gain sympathy from those people, I think is like the most ridiculous needy thing that I've ever seen. This particular level of crash out was just like I laughed and then I felt really like sorry for him. I was like, what is like what's going through this guy's mind that he felt this was his only avenue? And then it went right back to laughter because I realized I don't care. My life is, in like 2 weeks, I'm not even going to remember this whole scenario because you know what's bound to happen when your wife works for the marching band and she's putting in extra hours with Steve Smith, especially if you're not handling business at home in the boudoir. She's fucking Steve Smith. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, I don't
Um,
know what was going on. He could be handling business, but she just decided
I
that
guarantee
she
you he
wanted her
wasn't
business.
handling, but
Hey, hey,
there's no way.
she chose
There's
up.
no way.
Apparently, she
She
chose up.
did, one hundred
But
percent, and
you know,
that's fine. You knew who you married. I'm a big proponent of ignorance is bliss. I take that into most of the relationships that I'm in. Like I don't want to know. I don't care
I don't
what your
want
body
to
count
know.
at all. Zero. I don't want to know body counts. I don't want to know who, what, when, where. None of that stuff. The only thing that really matters to me is your health. That's it. Don't make me
Interesting.
sick. Don't make me sick.
Interesting.
Don't have me raising nobody else's kid. Those are the only two things, the only two like hard and fast rules that I have in any relationship that I get into because those ultimately are the things that matter the most to me. We're, well past that stage now. You're married, I'm about to get married, but when you're first dating somebody, for you youngsters out there, what is there to be gained by knowing somebody's body count?
Listen, we are on two opposite sides of the spectrum here, brother. I'm interested. I'd be like, let me know. Tell me. I would love to know as
Why
much
do
as
you
you're
want to know
willing.
that? So what's the good number? What's a good number for you?
It's
If
I don't
when you're first dating?
I could care about a number. The number could be 30. The number could be
Well, that's my
50. The
point
number
then. What
could
do you
be
want to know?
100. I,
Well, then why do you want to know? If the
I'm just
number doesn't matter
curious.
to you.
I'm curious. How much
That's a
experience
lot of
does
curiosity that I want to scratch.
and that's perfectly fine. But hey, if someone asked me, I would give the honest answer. Yeah.
I don't have like the number off the top of my head, but I give you a good rough estimate because I don't have any really shame about my. I don't look back and like regret many things about my life, especially not my sex life. I don't have a problem with giving the answer, but I do give proper precautions before I answer anything. Like, look, you might not like the things that you hear, so be careful what you ask me because I'm not gonna lie to make you feel better about the question that you asked me.
With the right person, none of those answers are gonna sway you. I mean, well, unless the answer
No.
was like
And that's my
500.
point. There's nothing positive to be gained. Like the only thing that could no, she's not gonna say, "Oh, my body count is 3," and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, great, you fucked 3 niggas." Like it's not gonna make you feel better. The only thing that you can possibly gain out of this is if she says 300 and now you feel worse because she's only 21 years old. Like, how have you fucked 300 niggas already? You know what I mean? So it's like there's nothing that you can positively gain out of it. Just let it go. Because honestly speaking, most women probably, especially today, they're probably just gonna lie to make you feel better. The answer doesn't really matter because if she's really wilding out here, she's smart enough to know to cover it up. Women do a lot of things to protect our ego that they don't want us to know about, and like I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. Keep on stroking my ego, boo, because I like there are some things I'm totally okay with accepting that I am egotistical about, and if that's one of them, then so be it. To our boy Lamborghini, I don't know what I would do if I would got those messages, man. I really don't. I keep going back to that one text message, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Well, clearly, Buddy
deep
wanted to
as a
know because
deep as an understatement, like would have broken me. It-
it'd have been like Grand Theft Auto, just wasted.
I wouldn't even be able to pee the same again. I would be in the bathroom like, is this not enough? You know, I would have called everything into question that I've ever felt secure about in my life. Like this is
Oh
just,
man, hey,
yeah,
hey
that's
man.
rips your manhood to shreds. There's just nothing else you can do. I could never play Madden again because now every time, I'm in Steve Smith and I'm looking at his Madden ratings, I'm like,
On the All Carolina Panthers team.
you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, like I just,
Oh man, that's mad funny. Hey,
yeah.
listen, hey brother, it's happened to many people. Okay, athletes have
Mhm.
definitely broken plenty of happy homes. So Lamborghini, you're not the
100%.
first. You won't be the last. Just don't put the rest of it on the internet. And
Yeah,
hey,
don't ever put anything else on the internet. And matter of fact, this is a good because he deactivated his Twitter account. I just checked before we started recording here. This is a
smart
good
man.
opportunity for you to change your Twitter handle if you decide to go back to Twitter.
Yeah,
Like, don't go like
unless you do have a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini too.
Yeah,
Nah, even still, that's worse.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, yeah.
he was like
Well,
turned into like Lamborghini or some shit as his new name. I was like, no, that's not.
you
Let's
didn't
just
learn your lesson,
leave that.
dude.
What did we learn? Clearly nothing.
Well,
Uh,
listen, Lamborghini is definitely getting an uncontested divorce. So,
yeah, that's
congrats to you. You're probably getting the
yeah, I
house.
get.
You're probably
Yeah,
getting the house, buddy.
I guess you win that. I guess you win that. You won the you won the divorce proceeding. So congratulations. Speaking of people not learning their lessons,
Mm.
you had sent something to me that was particularly spicy. Apparently, Billy McFarland did not get enough from the last Fyre Fest that went belly up in 2017. For those of you who live under a rock and did not see the Hulu or Netflix documentary about the Fyre Festival, Billy McFarland pled guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud in federal court, served almost 4 years in prison, was recently released. He had mentioned in 2022 in an interview that he had learned his lessons and was looking to do better in the
Mm.
future.
Mm.
And I guess he meant throw a better concert because he's back at it again, folks, in a way that only a white man
Oh my God.
could do. You know what I'm saying? The audacity that only could belong to Kanye West and white men. Billy McFarland back at it again here in 2025 with Fyre Fest 2. Didn't even change the name, by the
Nope.
way.
Nope.
Just Fyre Fest 2. Just slap the number 2 at the end of it like it was a fucking movie sequel.
In
And
fairness to him, you have to put Fyre Fest in the name just to get the
that's fair.
buzz. You got to get the buzz. You can't
Yeah,
call it like Hot Fest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be Fyre Fest too.
as
If you're
well.
gonna scam
That's a way.
people, you gotta go with the same name. That's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? We got to find out if, like, is Mr. McFarland, does he have any, like, Nigerian in his blood? We got to do a 23andMe and
Mm.
see if, maybe somewhere down the line he got some Nigerian in there. Because, I mean, the dude is just genetically predisposed to scamming.
The shit is insane. Only in this era, only in the second Trump administration, he said, "Oh, they letting scammers back in." I have one question. I have one question. One question.
Mm.
Where's Ja
Where
Rule?
is it? It's in Mexico.
No. Where is Ja
Oh.
Rule? Where is Ja? I need Ja Rule's
Yeah.
take on this. Is he gonna be
We need Ja.
involved?
We need
Like,
Ja Rule to speak on this, like 100%. We need a Ja Rule presser where he addresses the media and lets them know, like, hey, are you a part of this? Where is it taking place? Are you going to go? We need all the answers. We need a follow up documentary from Hulu covering the event.
I need to hear
We
from
need it all.
my man who was about to how do I phrase this?
Fellate. It's crazy how you didn't even like get midway through that sentence, and I immediately knew it was like he talking about the fellatio guy who
One of the,
became a meme.
oh my God, one of the greatest memes of our
It's a
generation.
didn't even need a subtitle. You just see a guy sitting
do.
in that with that background. You knew exactly what they were
Rent due this month, and you see that meme. It's like,
You know what I'm
oh,
saying?
you already know
Oh,
it.
what? That became like the 2 a.m. text, like the 2 a.m. missed text. Like, damn it, Shorty send you that meme and you take too long to reply. What's up for you, son?
Mm-mm.
That's probably the meme that Lamborghini's wife sent to Steve Smith Sr., to be honest with you.
I'm willing to do anything. We need to find out where that guy is. Like, I need all the players. Like, if Hulu don't have the second doc coming, like as
They
soon,
got to.
it's got to be. Like, there
I
has
mean,
to be
so
happening.
Billy, so basically, in 2017, when it didn't happen, he oversold this like luxury experience that was supposed to happen over like a 2 week span or something like that in the Bahamas. When the first guests that arrived got there, they were put in like these fucking like FEMA tents, served cheese, literally cheese sandwiches, not even grilled cheese, just cheese bread. They were given like little bottles of water and things like that. And like that was it. They were last minute backouts from all the celebrities once they realized that it was a scam and that there was nothing really happening over there. Like I said, he served his time in prison. And like you would think, look, we're letting you out 2 years early. It was a 6-year sentence. We're letting you out 2 years early. And like, this can't be good. Like, what? It can't be good behavior they were letting him out on, because this is literally, is this not a violation of your parole? Like, what? I don't understand.
Honestly, we need to know what the judge said. Like, you're never allowed to like plan a party again, because I feel like that should have been that should have been part of, that should have been part of it. Like, that should have been like at the top. Like, never again. You can't even plan a birthday party, my nigga. Like, you are done.
Yeah.
Done.
I want to know who bought tickets to this, because someone had to have bought at least one ticket.
We live in a world right now where people have such short memories that someone's gonna be like, this shit might be fire though. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna be like, hey,
Pun intended.
this shit might go off. Like, you know what I mean? Someone's gonna really think
It's
that.
in Mexico this time. You don't even have to get a flight. Just drive from Texas or drive from California.
People are gonna fly down there just to like, they're not gonna buy tickets, but they're just gonna like want to be around, like, just in case the shit gets crazy, and they go like,
I mean, at least this time, you can get some guac, some tableside guac instead of a cheese sandwich.
There you go.
That's a win in and of itself.
I'm saying, little
apparently it's happening. It's happening, or in this case, more than likely not happening. May 30th to June 2nd in Mexico. Like Los Mujeres, Mexico, or something like that, I think I read. So if you're planning on going, please do. Just know that tickets start at $1,400. So,
that's the craziest thing. You would think it would be like, yo, man, we're gonna do this one for free for y'all. Like, we fucked up the last time, but like,
yeah,
like we're gonna foot the bill for this one. Like Billy said, nah.
Right. This one's gonna be a nonprofit. We're gonna we'll cover. Anybody that bought tickets to the first Fyre Fest, get in free.
Get it free.
The first 10,000 original Fyre Festers, you gonna get in free. Everybody else, you got to pay the $1,400.
If you had to swim back on your own, you get in for free. You know what I'm saying? Like do something. My man's really charging like actual money for this. This is insane. It's insane. But like I said, you said the audacity. This is truly caucasity. This is peak caucasity, if I would say. Like,
elite levels of caucasity, actually.
Only white privilege could let you think you get away with some shit like this. That's it. That is it.
That list is like one item long. No, two. Because whatever Kanye West got going up in his brain chemistry, he's the only other person that I think believes he could truly pull something off like this. Which, normally is what you want to teach your kids, right? You can do anything. But like in this case, no, this is the one thing I don't believe in you. I need you to not do this.
You proved you could not do it. They made
two
documentaries.
2 of them. You know what I mean? R. Kelly got 2 documentaries. Michael Jackson got 2 documentaries. You on the levels with R. Kelly and Michael Jackson.
And Diddy got like...
And Diddy.
Diddy got like 6 documentaries.
Although one of them being litigated right now, right? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
It don't take 30 days of federal prison to turn me around. I'm well beyond scared straight.
This is literally, you got caught selling drugs. They let you out and you was like on the block the next day.
Right. It was like, but this new blue magic.
Yeah.
Like, can you please?
This shit moving out here though, cuz. This shit moving out here. Y'all think I'm not gonna be back out here selling?
This time it's different. It's money out here. Shout out.
Don't go to the Fyre Festival, people. Fyre Festival.
Please don't. Matter of fact, just don't go to Mexico. For like that whole 1 week span. Just like stay away. And nothing but bad things can happen.
Instead of American cheese, they give Swiss cheese on the sandwiches. Like that's best case scenario.
Probably cojita because it's Mexico, so you're getting that cojita cheese. I'll say this about this before we move on to the next topic. If you do get suckered by Billy McFarland this time, he should not be convicted.
No.
Because that's on you.
That's 100%.
That's on you. At this point, it's on you. But yeah, on to the last topic of the day before we get into our dad rules. I had sent you something before leaving work today of the 520 podcast. Shout out to those boys. They were talking about Coach Rick Pitino, who's currently the coach of St. John's, having a really good run right now. And he was saying to the reporter that you don't replace a guy like Kadari Richmond with a high school kid. And he's right. He's right. A great majority, Cooper Flag notwithstanding, of high school freshmen or high school seniors who are going into college next year are ready to handle a burden of carrying a team. Jeff Teague not only agreed, but he was like, he's a coach for, I think it's Pike in his native Indiana. Pike High School, and he said he tells some of his better players that are looking at getting D1 offers and such that if you're getting an offer, you should just jump on it, because nowadays the way NIL works and the way that things are working with the new JUCO rules, it's just a cautionary tale for these kids. The landscape of college basketball is changing.
I mean, let's call it what it is. It's free agency, right? Like, you're a much bigger college basketball fan than I am. I used to love college basketball, and I'm not one of those like, old head purist who was like, oh, the game was better back when the kids like had to fucking work for it. They're student athletes. The student comes before being an athlete. Like, I'm not one of those people. I've always been a fan of the athletes getting paid. I remember when athletes wanted to unionize, like back in the day, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I thought it was the best thing in the world because I thought that was gonna bring needed change to the game. NIL has been transformational. I mean, you said it's changing. It's changed. Like, we're already in the change, right? But I do think Rick Pitino pointing this out sort of puts a spotlight on just like how weird college sports is now, where it's just like these dudes are just, they're gone. Like, as an aside to this, like the New Yorker did New York Times Magazine did a piece on Woj, who's now the GM at St. Bonaventure. Woj tweeted something either yesterday or 2 days ago that I swear I saw it and I said, he has to have been hacked or this is fake. He's selling his old iPhones.
Yep, for NILs for St. Bonaventure.
For St. Bonaventure, like that's what people are doing now to bring money to the schools. And I don't fault him.
I think he said a private dinner with him or
private dinner. He's giving away his press passes. Like, I don't fault him for doing it because he has to basically use his likeness to bring attention to his school, which is a mid-major at best, right? Like, St. Bonaventure is not one of the schools
that they're in the Atlantic 10, so they're not really, not on the map.
Right.
But URI, shout out to the 401.
Yes, it's good that these guys are getting paid. We say guys, right? Because it's mostly the men's college basketball, men's college basketball players, men's college football players, women's college basketball to some degree, but like, it's not funneling down to all the other sports in the same way because they don't, bring in the same amount of attention.
They don't bring in the money. That's just what it is.
But it's become basically pro sports, man. Like, it's crazy. And I remember, I sound like an old person when I say things like I remember when, but I do remember when, like, in high school, it used to be like, oh man, high school sports was so cool. And like, it just felt like, you played for your actual high school. You didn't go to, like, only some special players went to, some like specialized school somewhere. Like, you played for your local high school. Like, there was pride
nowadays. I was talking to a friend about this. Like, nowadays you have these schools like IMG Academy and things where it's like you don't even go to classes. That is a postgraduate academy where kids who have used their high school eligibility, I believe, they go to IMG. There are no classes. You're just learning basically how to be a professional athlete. So like, people are treating the sports like it's Madden or like it's 2K, and you're just, moving people around and putting up fake mailboxes and stuff that's been going on from the beginning of time, but it's become a lot more egregious as things have shifted, and we've started to embrace a little bit more of the lack of amateurism in amateur sports. I'm glad to see that the NCAA is not holding on to that archaic belief that their players are not professional athletes nowadays, and they're letting them legally make money from their name, image, and likeness, because I think that was the only way to preserve their sport, and especially in basketball, because the players would just have to go for 1 year and then leave. So, you have players like Anthony Edwards and things like that who would go for a year. Anthony Davis, I guess, too. You would go to college for a year and then leave. But now you can really think about it, because you're like, what these NIL deals allow you to do is now, as a university, you might be able to keep some of these players. Like, you can go into the draft and be a late first round pick or a second round pick, or you could stay at school. We'll pay you $5, $6, $7, $8 million, and you can help us try and win a national championship, or you can come over here. And it gives these players something to think about. Right now, it's just the coaches battling back and being like, look, if you're going to do this NIL thing, then why would we continue to recruit the way we recruited before, with a heavy emphasis on high school talent and trying to, like, I'm not going to waste my time with that. We have known college commodities that have eligibility that we can get to transfer if we just put a little money in their pocket. So why would we not do that? And I love this for the game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't mind the players getting paid. I think that's great. I think it's awesome for them. If you're getting $9 million, like, that's if you're the number one pick in the draft, that's basically what your first year starting salary would be. So like, it's competitive. That joke about a competitive offer when you had a job interview. That's an actual competitive offer, right? But like,
exactly.
My only issue is the movement, right? Because yes, you're keeping players on the college stage for 4 years because they're like, okay, well, the money's worth it down here, but they're bouncing from school to school. The thing I do miss is guys actually being at one school. And I mean, we've talked about this before, like the moving around. You go from, St. John's. Okay, now you got to offer to play ball at UCLA, right? And like so, you're gonna jump to UCLA, and now there's just a scramble, and people say like they love parity in sports, but I think that there's uh some value in having some teams be good and some rivalries and some they played each other last year and now they're going to come back and play each other again, and there's anticipation. If it changes every year, then it's like, what's the point? Why? Who cares about who's on what team? You know what I mean? Like it somewhat devalues the team aspect of it. If I'm watching, like, how do I know who's good? I have to pay like extra close attention. Be like, oh no, he's not there anymore. He went to this school. He went to that school. I think it makes
Well,
it harder on the fan to follow, and it just, I don't know. To me, it cheapens it a little bit.
it's also become that's the product that we have, and you have
Yeah.
to work within the framework of what you have. You can't work off of what you want to happen or your ideals. It can't.
Well,
You have to
I think they can
throw
perfect
those out
it.
the window.
I think
Yeah.
they can perfect the system. I think right now what we're seeing is it's the early stages, right? This is the nascent aspect of what this is going to be in the future. And by the way, I'm all for the money, so much so that like I still think that the NCAA needs to cut a check based on all the money that they're getting on these TV rights deals and all the money that they're making. Like
A CBA is coming next.
Yeah,
Like the NIL deal is fine, but the next level of players are going
there's
to
a lot more
understand
money
like
out there.
there's so many ad sales that you're getting by selling, oh, Cooper Flag's playing at 8 p.m. on ESPN, and all these dollars in ad revenue that you're getting from having some of these like high level players come into these programs and filtering money into these programs. And what am I seeing? $4 or $5 million, which sounds great. But like, if it's not even a fraction of the piece of the pie that you're getting as the NCAA, I need a piece of that pie. So it is a yin and a yang. There are two sides of that coin. So I want to see them continue to develop. Like you said, it's the early stages of it. I just love the fact that a coach of the pedigree of Rick Pitino is fighting it back in the media by just letting people know, like, hey, this is the real. The problem is these coaches just don't lean into the things that they have. And what Rick Pitino understands is like, look, we might not get the high school kid, but we can get that under the radar transfer kid that nobody really was thinking about.
Yeah.
And now he's at St. John's and be like, damn, who was this guy? We're giving you an opportunity to grow your game, to play for a legendary coach like Pitino who knows what it takes to make it to the NBA. And what NBA coaches are looking for. So I love that. And I do hope that they figure out a better way to make a sport that I love a lot better. Because right now, I'm still kind of in and out. I'm still hot and cold on college basketball. I love it. But because I love it, I want to see it continue to grow and get better.
We're gonna work on your backhanded compliments for the Johnnies, but outside of that, I agree with everything that you said. I feel like it was
Johnny's now. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, man, I'm a Queens kid. You know what I'm saying? I used to run on St. John's track. Shout out to St.
Oh,
John's.
snap. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to them,
We used to
man.
practice
Yeah.
over there. You know what I'm saying?
The
Shout
Red
out to
Storm.
Thomas
All
Edison
right.
High School.
On to our last topic of the day, dad rules. As I say that, obviously waking up my daughter. Yeah,
It's okay.
you
My
can probably hear in the
my
back.
son's been moving the entire time.
She's been moving. He's been moving.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Let me look at this. Is live, y'all. I'm keeping all this stuff in, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting any of this out.
This is how we do it, y'all.
This is the real. This is the real. I keep the, shout out to technology, the Natted app. I can look at her monitor right here on my phone. Now she's chilling. She be doing that stuff, in the middle of the night.
You got the app right. You got it right there.
Man,
Bang,
Natted
bang.
app right
You know
here.
what I'm saying? We
Killing.
love the kids.
Love the kids, man. But she'll do that like throughout the night. It's like terrifying. She'll like wake up in two loud cries, but she doesn't flinch. She doesn't move. It's like she's having nightmares or something like that. It's very unnerving. For the dad rules for this week, there are two of them that I have. The first of which I would like to say, with all due respect, or if you choose to take it disrespectfully, I don't care. Your kid's not that special. Your kid, while special to you and unique to you, and you cherish that child, I love and cherish my child. Aria is no different than any other kid that is growing up. And that is to say that she is going to go through some of the same things that your son will soon go through. She's about a year almost ahead of your son. He's going to go through some of those things that she has already gone through. He is going to go through some different things because he is a boy and she's a girl. Like, these are things that we have to know about our kids, but everybody wants to argue, well, my kid doesn't really eat the... Listen, let me tell you something, man. Most of these kids are nurture over nature. They're not predisposed to anything. They are direct results of the environments that they grew up in. Your kid is not special. The environment that they grew up in is unique to them, and that is what makes them different, and that is what makes this world beautiful. But please, please, please miss me with that. Oh, my son is vegan. No, he's not. You're a vegan. and you made your kid a vegan. I don't understand the people that feel like they want to put their kid up on some pedestal as if to say like their kid matters more than the next one, because they don't.
Well, I'm gonna have to push back on that one, my friend, because not my baby. My baby's special. my my baby's special.
Don't nobody walk like my baby walk. My baby.
My man, he ain't even 8 months in a couple days, and he already starting to walk. You know what I'm saying? He already getting on. Every time I look at him, he's standing up. I'm like, dude.
You think this is what you want?
Oh, no. Don't take that to mean that I'm thrilled. Because every time I see you standing, I'm like, I know what you think you about to be doing a little bit. Like, I need you to slow down, actually. I need you to slow down.
Yeah. Because it's like, kids are not really fast. They're deceptively quick.
Yeah.
Like, Arya is not fast. She has, like, terrible balance. It's crazy how bad her balance is, honestly, for someone who is, like, so low to the ground. Because even for a child, she's short. But when you're not paying attention and you look up, she's just gone in a puff of dust. When you're walking with her and you're like, look, you can walk. I don't have to carry you everywhere. Come with me. She's like, does the whole kid thing where she stops at every nook and cranny or everything that you see, you know, squirrel. And she want to like look around and all that stuff and discover new things. And it's great. It's cute. But it's like, yo, we also got somewhere to be. Like, let's, you know, beat feet. Come on. One foot in front of the other. But when you need her to stay still is the prime moment when she decides that's when I need to move the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's crawling right now, so I'm experiencing the deceptively quick as we speak. So
it's only fast when you need it to be slow. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's very annoying in that way.
No, he be moving. I'll look and I'll be like, what? And then next thing I know, I see him coming around the other corner. I'm like, oh, no. You gotta chill. You gotta slow down. So yeah, no, I hear you. I agree with you though. Yes, your children is no more special than someone else's children, but my baby's special to me.
That's the thing. It's like, yes, your baby is special to you. No one is saying you do not cherish your child as if they are the most precious thing to you, because they are. They are uniquely precious, and especially to you. You should treat them as such. But like, your kid is not anymore. Your kid is not better than the next person's kid. It's just not. Everyone learns on a different curve. Some people, kids develop quicker. Some people's kids develop really, really fast and then stop. You think your kid's a genius because they can put the blocks all together when they're 2 years old, and then they turn 12 years old and they still can only put the blocks together in the right spots. So it's like, you know, is your kid really special, or did they just, you know,
they peaked early? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know, you peaked at 2 years old, son. You know, that's it's a rough way to say it. That's the way it is, man.
This feels like very specific smoke for like a very specific parent.
Man, I'm just saying, no, it isn't. Honestly, I don't. Thank God, like I said, we mentioned before, she hasn't made it to the age where like I have to learn the other parents yet.
Yeah, fair.
Because like, so like everyone in the school, if they see me in passing, I'm usually in a pretty good mood when I'm dropping her off at school. The world hasn't torn me down or pissed me off yet, usually. So like everyone at the school probably thinks I'm like a really nice, kind person. They probably don't know I'm an asshole. So that's good for me, that I'm still incognito in that way.
Yeah.
And her, yeah.
You want to reflect on her, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want them to prejudge her. It's like, hey, your dad's a dick, so we're going to treat you poorly. My other dad rule to that effect is teach your kids manners early and often. One of the greatest compliments I can get is when Jasmine or myself, we pick her up from school and they're like, yeah, your kid, every time we give her something, thank you, please. Anything we give to her, we're like, what do you say? Thank you. It's like, you just like little things that you want to ingrain and instill in them from an early age. And it's like, it seems like a really simple thing, but I've been around enough adults who don't understand the concept of please and thank you to know that can't be, I hear it. There's some work going on in the background.
Yeah, he having a little fit.
Oh, he up now.
Yeah, he's up.
Oh, he having a fit.
I thought he was gonna put himself back to sleep, but he's up.
He did not.
He has no manners, clearly. Daddy's recording a podcast. I need you to chill.
Come on now, Coleman. Let's go.
I feel you on the manners thing. I definitely would love for my son to have manners. Not love for, he will have manners. But also, I feel like that means I have to have manners, which I'm like generally have manners, but then like don't learn from dad when he's driving. It's basically good to be the lesson.
That's a fact.
It's like earmuffs while daddy's driving because I don't have manners in the car. Get your ass out the street before I run you over.
Like when she's old enough to like really understand the terrible things that I say to my television screen, she won't be allowed to be around me on Sundays, period. Because like the Raiders can piss me off during a game and it will linger for the rest of the day. Like I just can't have a good day. Once I'm like Raiders mad, that's a mad that lasts all day. The Sixers, I can like wash it away with like a drink or something like that. The Raiders, I will just be mad for the rest of the day.
Nah, I feel you.
It's like a cold sore. It just stays there forever.
You have terrible taste in teams.
The Giants are picking ahead of us, right? That means their record was worse. That's what you're saying?
I don't. Yeah, it's like
I'm just asking a question.
very
Just
slightly
asking a
worse
question.
team. I mean,
Got
let's
it.
be
So
honest.
worse. All I've heard is worse.
Your team still sucks, but fair.
I heard worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still
Well, it's your
disappointing.
fault because your
Equally
guy was our
disappointing.
fucking coach this year. So whose fault is it really?
He was good for us. He was good in the role we
Yeah.
put him in.
I liked him. That
I
was
mean, he
me.
got
I
the
actually
shaft. He got
like
the
him
shaft.
from Napier. He got the shaft. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes for coaches that look like us.
If you
It's
black,
a good thing
you get 1 year.
Crypt Keeper to be our new head coach. So, we dug up the carcass of Pete Carroll to be our head coach.
Hey man,
You know,
he's young, he's young at heart.
if we can only get Monty Kiffin to be our defensive coordinator, I think that is a
At
three-piece
least
set
I
will be
have
finished.
Russell Wilson playing quarterback for you.
You mean Mr. Unlimited?
No, I do not. I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all. Oh, we got the combine coming up this week.
I want to see what Tetaroa McMillan runs. Honestly, I'd be really interested in that because if Tetaroa McMillan runs in the low 4.5s, I don't think he'll break 4.4. But I think if he can run in the low 4.5s, I think he will be a top 5 pick.
Because all the people who I'm looking forward to are probably not going to do it. I know Shadur Sanders said he's not going to do anything.
It's all about pro days now. It's all about controlling the environment and controlling the narrative.
I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. But it's also like just don't show up. There's really no point in you going just to not do it.
If you're going to show up just to take measurables, like who fucking cares? Like do something. Do a drill.
Yeah.
Bench press something.
We'll
I don't know. That's just for me.
The Giants, I have not a lot of faith in them. So
yeah. Well, you should have more faith in your Giants than I have in my Raiders. At least you've won in relatively recent memory. I don't know. I forgot what winning feels like, to be honest with you.
Sure
I don't know what it's like to genuinely be like proud of my team after a season's over.
Can't relate.
Well, whatever, man. Whatever. All right, man. I'm gonna let you get to your son, man. I'm double checking my daughter before. I'm sure Jasmine's sending me angry text messages for being loud and potentially waking Arya up. So I'm gonna have to deal with that for
I'm the night guy, so I'm sending myself angry text messages.
I mean, we both work in a night shift. Usually, Arya makes my job easy. Right now, I'm looking at her. She either has a concussion or she's knocked out of sleep. Well, I'm hoping it's just hoping it's the latter. So we're gonna double check on her. Put my finger on her nose, make sure she's still breathing, and then
I do the same thing.
Go hit the sheet. Go hit myself.
Like that, right there.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
couple breaths in, couple breaths out. Yeah, she's still there. We appreciate, as always, we appreciate all you guys for rocking with us, man. It's been another episode of the No Rules Podcast. Peace.
Peace, y'all.